Let's break this game down, man. I'd watched this live. I felt like it was really fast paced. I honestly don't even know how Henry lost this game. Spoiler alert, if you couldn't tell by the title of this video, I'm pretty sure I probably put it something to that effect of how Henry lost in the Madden Bowl. Like I said, it went by so fast when it was live. I felt like Henry dominated most of the game, but 88 just hung around the entire game and somehow came up on top. First thing we got to point out, though, the shades. How do we feel about the shades? At first, I thought it was super aura, and it is. I mean, look, he got max aura walking out. No one has more aura than Henry, and that's like a given. But playing with the shades on, keeping the shades on during the game, a little crazy. I can't lie. If I'm Mr. Football and I see Henry's wearing shades, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I feel some type of way about it. That's the first thing I noticed. I know maybe it matters, maybe not, maybe their prescription. First thing I noticed though, we're wearing shades during the game. Sometimes I troll and I put on glasses during my gameplay, and I swear I can't see. So that's the first thing I noticed. But let's get into the gameplay. He didn't go for 4 quarters. It wasn't for 4 quarters though. He did end up taking him off. I'm just saying though, starting off the game in shades is like a little crazy, bro. I don't know if Henry's trying to aura max. Like I don't know what he was going for, but the shades are a little crazy. All right, so first play, Henry started on offense. Mr. Football starting on defense. Henry's in the bunch X nasty. I'm pretty sure he's in Banker offensive playbook. And I'm not sure what Mr. Football runs. I know he runs something different. I don't think it's Banker. He might be in Jets or something with double flex Y off. But Henry just taking some safe checkdowns. And what you're gonna notice in this game is Henry loves to use his running back. I played against Henry one time this year in the MCS, like I don't know, it was a couple tournaments ago. And the one thing I noticed that he loved to do was pass to his running back. So we're going to see a lot of passes to his running back. We're going to see a lot of checkdowns, a lot of nice, safe, easy dots. And we're just going to kind of break this game down and slow it down now that we can watch it after the fact. Because, like I said, as I was watching it live, I really felt like Henry was dominating this game. I genuinely don't know how he lost. So I kind of want to just watch and see what happened, really, and kind of break it down from there. Go into a little RPO. So this is something I noticed early on is Henry, he's the best Madden player on earth, right? He hits this little RPO like flat route. I just don't think there's any way the best Madden on earth is messing up this speed boost like Henry did. Right? Like this is a touchdown. If he gets this speed boost off that he tried to get right here, but he messes it up and it's not, he doesn't get the touchdown that he wants. I don't know if he didn't have enough running room to necessarily get the speed boost off, but I feel like he did. He even made a little face, like he winced. He's like, "Damn, that should have been a touchdown." So what that told me right away, and I said it live during the game, I was like, Henry looks like his hands are cold or like he's feeling like not locked in. I'm not sure. I feel like the first game of the day when you play Madden, my hands, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you need a couple games to warm up. You need to make sure they're warm, they're moving. And I just didn't feel like Henry was super warm, if that makes sense, at the beginning of this game. It's just something I noticed. And then right again, the very next play, 2nd and 3, he could have got the first down. I know it's like little nitpicky stuff, but if you're playing for $45,000 in a game of Madden, like this stuff ends up adding up. He could have easily got the first down there, but it's not the biggest deal. And then he just rushes a read there. It's just the start of this game just doesn't feel like it's Henry, in my opinion. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he's playing with the shades on. Let's not forget, he still got the shades on. I don't know if that has something to do with it. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out what I see. Don't shoot the messenger. But he just doesn't look warm at the end of the day. Like his hands don't look warm. And I'm going to confirm this because later on in the stream, he asked the production guy or the assistant for hand warmers, like in the second quarter. And I'm just like, how is that possible, bro? I don't know what he has to do. Maybe he has to take like a controller with him and like as he's sitting in the crowd, just practice speed boosting. Just go bink bink. Or I don't know, bro, but your hands gotta be warm. Like how? How is this possible? There's no warm-ups for gamers. Okay, this was also a big play. This could have very easily have been like a fumble, in my opinion. He's got Justin Fields at quarterback. Henry, in my opinion, the reason Henry is so good is obviously a few things, but one of the things he's so good at is not putting himself in bad positions to allow the game to cheat him, right? Because this is Madden at the end of the day. There's a lot of RNG, there's a lot of stuff out of your control, like fumbles sometimes happen, and you just got to do your best to avoid those situations. For example, the Henry that I've seen in years past would never take a hit stick from his quarterback early on in a game like this worth $45,000. Maybe he was a little scared to fall here because there's a defender behind him, and sometimes you can get a weird animation. Like he could tackle you from behind and kind of hold you up and let someone else hit stick you. Is could be going through his head. But in my opinion, I felt like that would have been just an instant slide. And look, that is kind of what happened, right? He got tackled from behind and he sets himself up for the hit stick. It's just 88 didn't click on the right guy to make the hit stick. So it ends up being a CPU hit stick, but still taking a hit stick with your quarterback for $45,000 on the line. Like, I just don't feel like Henry is as locked in as he needed to be. Just off these little things that I was seeing. Hits the corner out. That dude absolutely fried him. Easy. Still got the shades on. Again, I don't know if these are prescription. I feel like these are just regular shades, bro. Like, unless his screen's super bright, like, I don't know how he's seeing the screen normally. And here it is. This is when he asked for hand warmers. I don't know if the audio is going to play. I'll have to figure out the audio part, but look, even for the stream, let's listen to him. See? You hear that? Hand warmers. He needs hand warmers. Like, how do we not have hand warmers before the game starts, bro? After the first drive is honestly a little diabolical. So it just proves his hands were cold. And that matters. Like, I know it's kind of cheesy, but I swear that matters. If your hands are cold, you do not feel comfortable. Like, speed boosting's harder. Everything's harder. Y'all think I'm a mad scientist making stuff up. Like, this is real ball knowledge. Like, I know what I'm talking about, bro. I literally know what I'm talking about. So here we go. 88's going to be on the offense now, first possession. Another thing you want to notice what Henry's doing, he's not running the same defense as 88. 88's in double mug. Henry's going to be in 3-3-5 cub. 3-3-5 cub's good because you can get pressure from the edges and you can decide when to send them and when not to. You could sometimes, let me go ahead and start from the top. Right, you get an option to send 5 every play if you want from these guys, and then you get also double edge pressure. So like, say if you're worried there's going to be a tight end chip, you could send the opposite guy who's not on the tight end side and then put the guy who's on tight end side in the zone or something like that. You just have a lot of different options in cub. So I like how Henry's running cub, and he's also sometimes sending his user on a blitz during this game, which I really liked. He got a lot of good pressure out of it. But yeah, this is just going to be 88's first possession. Henry sold. Worst clock job ever. Cubs the cheap version of 3-4 odd. So there's an example of Henry sending his user. Now, what I noticed is sometimes Henry would be clicked onto this guy and he would actually find the gap by himself and then he would D-pad switch stick onto somebody else. Other times he would just send him on a blitz by himself like he did here, and he was getting really good pressure out of it, and it was making 88 have to roll out a lot, and he was just getting screamed at. And here, unfortunately, like Henry gets the D-pad switch stick, runs into the receiver, so 88 is going to get some free yards. And there's Henry getting his hand warmers, and by the way, still has the shades on. Let's keep an eye on that. That's important. Nice little draw play. Another really good thing about this run, and I'm sorry, boys, I'm going to get really nerdy and in depth. If you're not here for some nerdy MCS breakdown stuff, this probably isn't the video for you, but if you are, well then, welcome. I really like this draw play because what 3-3 odd and what any odd front set is good at, if there's a D tackle in the middle, what you're able to do is you can hover with this guy behind him and you get this weird like phase through easy gap shoot from runs. Traditionally, like inside zone, you blow it up. Most runs you blow up, except for this run here, which is what 88's running, except for draw. So draw is going to be the exact counter to that hover glitch. Even though Henry's not doing it on this play, I think he tries later on. This is a really good run against that. So if anyone's doing like the D tackle hover glitch against you, simply call a draw play and you can get some big yards like 88 did there. You're going to unsub, Trailblazers. What are you talking about, bro? To victory formation? There's 88, just taking his checkdowns, making life easy on himself. And Henry, honestly, first drive, you're really just trying to learn how your opponent's trying to play. You're not going to give up anything big. Hopefully, is what you're going for. You kind of just want to learn what his dots are, what he likes to do, what his game plan is for the game, and go from there. So this is a really nice dot. This is at a double flex Y off close. I think it's motion dig under the play is called. And what's so good about this play is this route here, and Henry knows that. It's like a really glitchy, fast in drag route. It's so good. It beats man in zone. And I think what 88 saw here is that he was going to bait Henry into overplaying that, which he does. So Henry ends up switch sticking. And I think he just put that route on the field because he wants Henry's attention to be here. And that's going to leave this tight open, wide open up the seam. So this is a really good play call by 88, which I liked. And that was an easy touchdown for him. Yeah, and I run that play a lot personally too because it's so good. Also, shades are still on. Let's keep a note. Let's keep a timer on how long Henry keeps the shades on. So Henry's going to be back on offense. I think he's just primarily in bunch X nasty. He really doesn't switch much out of it. Just taking what the defense is giving him. A little QB scramble there. Nothing crazy. And he gets absolutely barked at here. He's sending out 5 against double mug, which is a little scary sometimes because if you don't block your running back, this could happen. You can get A-gap blitzed. And 88 also had a pretty decent switch stick too. So good pressure there from 88. Again, Henry just hitting his running back, taking advantage of his running back. Literally loves his running back so much. Little halfback flat route. I mean, just a lot of dinks and dunks, keeping it safe. You definitely don't want it to make any unnecessary risks in this situation. If you're playing for so much money, again, you don't want to give the game a chance to cheat you. You don't want to turn the ball over. You got to play as safe as possible. Just some nice combos. Some combos I've never like. These combos are really good, and I think a lot of times what Henry does is freestyles, just because he understands how to manipulate the zone so well. So a lot of his combos, I believe, are freestyles. I'm sure a lot of them he's practiced, but a lot of them are also freestyles. So this was a great play by 88. And they talked about this on the broadcast. I think a lot of people, myself included, would have tried to switch stick on to this guy here and then go for this interception. But if you go for the interception, the problem is your defensive back just doesn't animate as well as he should. And because 88 elects to not go for the interception, instead goes for the swat, he actually gets the animation he goes that he wants, and he swats the ball away. So I know that kind of looks like, man, why didn't he just go for a pick? But I feel like if you go for a pick there, you might not get the animation that you want. And now we're on a 4th and 3. And also, let me. Sorry, I just had to change my stream title real quick in case people pop in and wondering what I'm doing. Nice dot there by Henry. He loves his return routes. He loves his running back flat routes. He loves his little corner routes. Like, he plays simple, easy offense. And I like the way he plays offense. I mean, he's the best in the world for a reason. He's not taking any risks, just taking what the defense is giving him. Yo, Sierra, appreciate that follow. Thank you. So this was an absolute dot. Yo, Mama, appreciate that follow, Mama. I've never seen this route combo. I think what Henry's realizing is because there's so many people on the line, right, and double mug, there's only so many people that can guard like the flat route and this side of the field on this specific formation. So he's gonna snap the ball here, and this is just my guess. But what I'm guessing is, as soon as he snaps the ball, if you see that this defensive end is not in a hard flat, but instead he's rushing the quarterback, you know that you're going to have numbers on this side because you only have 2 DBs on this side to cover 2 receivers and a potential. And that's why it's going to leave the potential 3rd receiver over, because there's just not enough people over there to cover it. And I think that's part of 88's strategy, is he knows that's a weakness of this defense, but he's just hoping the pressure gets there before that, because Henry is still sending out 5. But this time 88 elects to only send 4, which is kind of unfortunate, because Henry puts out this corner route, and I think 88's forced to switch stick onto it to try to cover this corner out here. And that just leaves no one available to cover over on the top left. So that was a really good route combo that I don't see a lot of people use, and it makes sense how Henry's just kind of manipulating the defense. And shades are still on. 2 touchdowns with shades on. Just want to point that out. His shades are on. Oh, and they just came off. So I don't know. I feel like if you rock the shades the first 2 drives and score, like, are we not rocking them the rest of the game? Is he not aura maxing anymore? Because now the shades are off. Just saying, something to note. I think 88 might be in. He might be in Jags, I think. I'm honestly not sure. Or maybe Chiefs. So 88's looking for a bomb. Henry plays great defense on it. Literally nothing there. Again, you're still trying to learn how your opponent's playing early on in these games. You want to see how they're trying to attack your defense. Switch into a little cluster look. I thought he was gonna hit this little corner route over here. He didn't end up going with it. And then he gets a intentional grounding, which is honestly really huge. Like losing a down and losing that many yards is honestly a huge deal. I know Henry was super happy about that. So now you gotta see how he reacts here on 2nd and 22. I mean, you could send pressure, you could elect to go coverage, and he actually just went coverage here. It plays pretty good defense. So now it's 3rd and 16. You got to be feeling good. Second drive, you're already up 7, right? So if you get a stop here, you're going to be up a possession, which would be huge. Henry failed really good here. How do we do that slot fade? To do slot fades, you just hit LT. Here, I thought 88 was gonna bomb Henry. He missed this wide open touchdown here, or at least a first down if he just pass leads to the inside. And Henry doesn't get the correct switch stick. I think he was trying to get to this receiver or safety here to cover that. He just didn't get it off. So 88 ended up missing a read there, and it's gonna be 4th and 16. So he's actually gonna elect to take 3. So this doesn't count as like a full stop in my opinion. It's more so like a half a stop, but it's still really good to hold your opponent to 3 in Madden 26 where offense is so hard to stop. Like that's definitely something worth celebrating. And here again, man, I just feel like Henry is just not super warm. And I watched Astro play right after this game, and I just feel like if Astro gets this football, he's scoring. I mean, shout out to 88. He actually makes a really freaking good tackle here. But Henry just doesn't get a speed boost off. He doesn't do a move here. He just kind of runs diagonal. I just don't feel like his hands might not be super warm still, which is kind of crazy to me when you're playing for so much money. Like you would think these dudes would be going above and beyond, right? To make sure they're as prepared as possible. So Henry's in a really good spot here. Another thing you got to be thinking about is when you hold your opponent to 3 and you have the ball, you want to try to make this last possession and you want to score a touchdown. If you can accomplish those two things, you're going to be in really, really good shape because you're going to be up 2 possessions at half. That's going to be the main important thing. So I'm pretty sure that's what Henry's thinking here, just dinking and dunking his way down the field. Hits the tight end, and you're going to see Henry comes back. Again, he's really not looking to score right now. He just wants this clock. He wants all of the clock throughout the first half. I think even here he might have. He definitely got the first down. I was gonna say could have possibly tried not getting the first down there, but he just elects to take it. So here, I think this is another mental mistake here by Henry. I think on a 1st and 10 situation here, you definitely don't want this first down. If you're Henry and if you're really trying to clock this all the way out, like he definitely was, you got to fall down here and make it 2nd and short because you want to work on the current down and distance and you don't want to reset it any sooner than you have to. So 2nd down would have been way better here, but he ends up messing up again and he runs in front of these 2 dudes blocking this one guy instead of falling for 2nd down and short. So that's going to give 88 the ball back no matter what. And you could see by his body language, he falls back a little bit in his chair. I think he realizes I should have just went down for 2nd down there. So now 88's going to get the ball back no matter what. So Henry's just trying to make sure he gets it with as little time as possible because he doesn't have any timeouts. So again, just trying to chew clock here. And Madden 26, it's hard. You know, Madden 26, the best form of defense in this game, in my opinion, is not. It's not even defense. It's clock management. Clock management is one of your biggest forms of getting stops in this game or limiting possessions for your opponent. So it's hard because Henry didn't want to score there, but now he's in a weird position because he's up 4. Had he scored, he still would have been up 11, which is 2 possessions. And you're going to see here on this play, he messes up this dot. I think he was trying to get a high ball to Hester, and it just goes out of bounds. So now he realizes, man, I just trolled my half stop away. I earned a field goal from 88, and now I'm forced to take a field goal of my own. I don't know if he pass led this wrong. It doesn't look like he pass led it at all. Maybe you're supposed to pass lead it down, or he just got cheated with the animation. But he ends up getting stopped in the red zone, and he's forced to take 3, which is huge in this game. Because instead of going up 2 possessions, now you're only up 1, and 88 still gets the ball back. Even though he has 0 timeouts, he can still go down and hit a field goal. And that's what you're thinking if you're 88 in this position. You're not really trying to go for a touchdown here. You just want to get to half field. You only have 43 seconds, 0 timeouts. You're just trying to get in the field goal range and cut the lead as much as you can. That slot fade. How do you do that slot fade? And 88 throws an absolute missile. Absolute missile on that play. I was surprised. I don't know what Henry's thinking here. Maybe he's trying to bait something, but it's so obvious what he's in. I don't know if his shell is messed up. I don't know if the no huddle messed with it. I don't know what's going on, but it's so obvious he's in cover 3 with a single high safety. And I think 88 just calls a cover 3 bomb. And Henry tries to switch stick to it. It's just so open though. It's crazy. It's a really good play by 88. And he gets all the way down in the red zone with no timeouts. So not only has he already secured a field goal, he could potentially tie the game up at half, even though he got held to a field goal earlier on in the game, which is insane, honestly, against one of the best defensive players in the world. Henry just doesn't make those kinds of mistakes, and that was a huge one there. I would have preferred like a cover 4 probably. And you just got to tackle him inbounds. I mean, he has 0 timeouts. But now he has a chance to score a touchdown here, which is huge. This was a super scary throw. If he catches the ball there and doesn't score, Henry is in such a good spot to win this game. Literally such a good spot. But instead, Henry gets cheated, which is insane to say, on defense by getting a knockout. You would have preferred your opponent to catch here and then he go down, but instead he gets a freaking knockout, and it's good for the offense, which is just crazy. So now 88 has 1 dot for his life. I mean, if you get a dot here, it's going to be really good for you. I thought when I watched this live, I thought 88 lobbed the ball up. And this is good defense by Henry. I thought that was a lob though, and I thought that was an interception, but he ends up just throwing it away. So not only has Henry held 88 to 1 field goal, but he's held him to 2. Not just 1 field goal, but 2. Which is pretty insane in Madden 26. Like, it's easy to score points in this game. So he's playing good defense. I mean, besides giving up that big bomb, he still held his opponent to 3 there. And we're going to go and skip to the second half. All things considered, though, I feel like Henry's played really good defense. What's up, Jay? So now 88 gets the ball at half. I mean, he's in a really good spot. He's only down 4. All things considered, you got stopped twice. You didn't score on 2 of your possessions, and you're only down 4. Like, you have so much life. Typically it's not like that. As he hits a really good QB playmaker there. So he should be feeling pretty good about himself. I mean, he's still in this game, most definitely. Just dinking and dunking his way down the field, not risking anything, making easy reads, easy passes. Also, another thing to note on this play, I think the play before this, 88 calls double flex while up close like he's been, but then on this one, he motions out his running back, which forces Henry to like click on this dude, and then he clicks off of him. I think he was trying to move him out there because he's in a hard flat. And I think now he's clicked onto the safety for a second. Like he's trying all kinds of different things. And 88 notices that. And Henry's really trying not to give up that running back flat over there. And that leaves that dig from motion dig under, like we talked about earlier, wide open. So I think 88 noticed, and he definitely did. He said this after the game. He noticed that every time he motioned out his running back, it messed up Henry's defense. So he was going to start doing that a lot more often. So you can see here, he's motioning out the running back, and for some reason, this opposite corner follows him. It's probably because they're in man. So that's going to be an obvious tell that you're in man. He tries to hit the slant, it just gets shedded though. Yeah, the game ended already, Jay. Henry ended up losing. I'm trying to figure out how, bro. Literally deciphering it. Do I give live sessions? Yeah. I do personal coaching for $50 right now, $50 an hour. Also, crazy hit stick there, bro. Like taking hit sticks with your quarterback with so much money on the line is honestly insane to me. I would rather 88 run out of bounds there, not even risk it. Just because you don't want to get cheated, man. It's so scary to get cheated. This was a dot. He had the Texas route. He also had the tight end corner. Just ends up taking the Texas. Again, another safe, easy read. Join the Discord, gamer or programmer. I'll then you can message me from there. We could set something up for sure, brother. I run it all through Discord. Another funny thing about this stream is that Melvin Gordon was there, and based on the way Melvin Gordon talked about the game, I'm pretty sure he does not play Madden at all. So I'm not sure why they had Melvin Gordon there because he had no idea what was going on. But I mean, he brought the vibes. I guess that's what matters. He brought the energy. And so now we got a 3rd and goal. So this is actually a crucial moment in the game that we're not able to see full screen, unfortunately. What happened on this 1st and goal play? Because they switched. So 1st and goal, 88 runs the ball. And I think he gets blown up or he gets pushed backwards. Yeah, he gets a terrible animation. And then he tries to get a speed boost out of it probably. And all of a sudden, it's 2nd and goal on the 16. So now you're 16 yards away from the end zone. Bet, Anton. Sounds good. So now we got a 2nd and goal situation here on the 16. And I think he gets screamed at in this situation here. No, Henry just plays really good defense. I mean, nothing's open. 88's forced to throw the ball away. Henry's playing really good defense here in the red zone. So 88 not in a good position here. 3rd and 16. What Henry can do is just, if he has all of his zones on 15 yards, they're just going to be able to play all of this back here. It's just really, really hard to score on that with custom zone drops being a feature. It's tough. And I think 88 realizes that. He was going to try to go for a pass play, and he ends up audibling to a QB run, hoping maybe Henry pass commits in this situation. but just not able to get a speed burst off. 4th and goal now. And I believe, so yeah, not only did Henry stop 88 once or twice, but he literally stopped him 3 times in the red zone to force 3 field goals. 3. Like I just don't get. I mean, 88 has that dog in him. Literally has that dog in him. Because typically, if you get stopped 3 times in the red zone like this, like it's just not good. '88 has more possessions. I don't think so. I think they've had the same amount of possessions. I think it's, I mean, not by much. You know what I'm saying? So now Henry takes a sack on 1st and 10. He just has to score. I mean, you're up 1. In this situation here, you're thinking to yourself, okay, if I score and kick my field goal, if I score, that's 6. I'm up 1, that's 7. If I kick my field goal, that's 8. The worst thing 88 can do to me is tie the game, and that's fine. I'll force him to go for 2 when it matters. I'm just going to make sure to play my game, play my offense. Like I've been playing good all game. No reason to change anything up. I'm just going to try to score here. So that's what Henry's thinking. 88's just trying to think, I need to get a stop. Got to force Henry into something. He switched his defense. He's no longer in double mug. He's in, I'm not sure what this is. Like nickel wide, dollar, dime? I'm not sure. I think he called like a pirate on that play. Henry actually had a touchdown there. He just got cheated with the inaccurate. And then we go for the double stream. I'm going to turn my face cam off during this just because that feels like it blocks so much of this game. So 3rd and 3. Again, Henry just moving the ball. He really loves this route combo against this specific formation. Hits that corner route on the solo side. Running with his quarterback, taking what's there, not taking unnecessary hits. Doesn't risk it on that play. I mean, he's moving the ball pretty effortlessly. Hits the running back seam. I love this play. I don't use this play nearly enough, but that's a really good play. He's been running a lot of spacing switch and running a lot of swing routes as well with his running back, which forces Mr. Football to put like a hard flat over there. And that's going to end up leaving, and that's going to end up leaving the running back seam streak there open, which it does. Another thing I noticed, and I know I'm being nitpicky, but I swear this stuff matters, is Henry's like, I feel like he's checking out the other game that's next to him or something. Because as you play, there's 2 games going on, and there's like a lot of roars that go on. And I feel like this was a time, well, let's just see. We'll hear the audio real quick. You guys might not hear it on the recording, but I'll hear it. Yeah, so it sounded like something happened in the other game. And he's literally checking out the other game. I don't know, bro. I feel like you might just be relaxed, which is a good sign. Like you're just chilling, like you might just be comfortable, or you might not be as locked in as you need to be on your game. Just something to point out. I know it's nitpicky, but just something I saw. These live events are a lot different than just playing online when it's just you and the person and you're in your room, way different. So I've heard. I personally never played in a live event, but that's what I've heard people say. Henry going to this double slant play. He ran this against John Beast in the other finals. Tried to hit that second slant. If he hits it earlier, it's definitely a touchdown there. 3rd and goal. I've never seen this route combo before. I'm not sure what he's going for here. Had the return route. Ends up just running with his quarterback. Really nice run there by Henry. So Henry's feeling really good right now, right? He was up 1. He scores a touchdown, gets 7. Now he's up 8. Worst thing that 88 can do to him is tie the game up, right? Because he has to score a touchdown and go for 2. And 88 actually gets an insane kick returning. I'm gonna let this play. He is moving with Hester, moving. And this is a really good tackle by Buckley. So the thing that sucks for Henry is you just gave up so many yards on a kick return when the clock's your best friend right now. Like, you need the clock to burn, right? And just giving up that many yards on a kick return really sucks if you're in his position. If you're 88, I mean, you're freaking, yeah, that's great. So 88 trying to go to some red zone dots. Ends up just running the ball here. Little QB power, and boom. So 88 scores. So now 88 kind of has a decision here. It's still early on in the game. If he kicks 1 here, either way, you're going to have to get a stop. I wouldn't have minded that. But going for 2 definitely makes sense. Like, you want to try to tie the game up. You're going to have to go for 2 at some point in the game. So you might as well do it earlier than later to see kind of what situation you're going to be in towards the end of the game. So he elects to go for 2. And yo, Young Puck, appreciate that follow. It looks like he went for like a double zig, double flat concept with a running back curl. He might have had triangle on this zig route. Yeah, he definitely had triangle open. It's just a tight read. I honestly don't love the play call. I just don't feel like I don't know. I don't think it attacks the red zone zones as much as we want it to. Because you're going to see a lot of hard flats, a lot of yellows and stuff in the red zone. So then 88 kicks an onside here. I'm going to go ahead and shut my face cam off during these portions. And now Henry's thinking, all right, I'm up 2, right? 4 minutes left in the game. If I score 7, I go up 2 possessions. All I got to do is score and maybe chew a little clock. Like, being up 2 possessions, this is really good. But 88 did do the onside to make the field shorter, so he can't chew as much clock maybe as he wants. So that's a really smart thing that 88 did there. And of course, if he got the onside, that would have been sick too. But Henry, I mean, in a good spot, just has to score a touchdown. Literally going to go up 2 possessions. Don't force anything. I mean, taking his zig routes, his return routes, running back, doing what Henry does. As they show some of this game. And now all of a sudden Henry's in the 1st and goal. He doesn't have chew clock on, and he doesn't really wait for the time to dissipate before he snaps the ball. So, but at the same time, I don't think he's really concerned too much about the clock in this situation. He's really just concerned about scoring, because now he's up 9, right? He's up 2 possessions, which is huge. 1 stop wins this game now, pretty much. Tyler 0, what's good, brother? So now Henry's in a really good spot. He's up 9 with 3 minutes left in the game. 88's in a tough spot. You got to get down the field and try to score. And 88 just figures out a way, bro. Like, he is a speed boost demon. You cannot kill this guy. He just hangs around. He's got alligator blood. 88 with the speed boost freaking play of the century on the first play of the half. So Henry would have loved to kill at least 30 seconds, a minute maybe off the clock, but instead he kills like no time. 88 literally scores on the very next possession. Insane. Right? But he's going for 2 here because he's going to be down 3. So this is a super important 2-point conversion. If he doesn't get this, he's still going to be down 2 possessions. But if he does, he gives himself a chance to send it into OT. And that's just a good play. Little QB rollout. But again, Henry is in still such a good position. You're up 1, 3 minutes left. 88's doing the smart thing by onsiding here. Even if you don't get the onside, you still give yourself a chance to not let Henry clock you as much as he wants. And I thought this was interesting because I'm pretty sure Henry recovered it. I was wondering if he was going to decline it to give himself extra yards to clock. I know it's not much, but I feel like every yard counts. Again, when you're playing for $100,000, I feel like all this stuff matters. So now 3 minutes left, Henry's ball. He's thinking, again, if I just score, I'm good. And this was a scary throw he threw. This streak, I'm pretty sure he highballs it. But still, that's a scary throw. I mean, he's throwing right at 88's user. And I think in this situation, 88 went for the interception. And because his DB wasn't turned around, it's no eyes, no pick. So he doesn't get the animation he would have got had he gone for a swat. And 88, and then Henry almost catches that. But another important thing to note, because he dropped that ball, the clock does not keep rolling. So Henry so far has only burned like 4 seconds this possession, which is, I mean, that's significant for sure versus like 30. Takes a little drag route, ends up catching that one. So now we're on a 3rd and 6, 2 minutes left. So here's another problem I have is I just feel like this is a little bit careless. There's 2 minutes and 35 seconds left. We snapped the ball. If this play doesn't last longer than 4 seconds, you have 13 seconds left on the play clock. Like, you got to get this down to the 2-minute warning in this situation, right? But he just throws a bomb. And I kind of think that's what 88 wanted. Like, he doesn't want to get clocked. So I just don't know about snapping the ball that early. And look, 88's literally playing the safety. He's pretty much telling Henry, hey, take this touchdown. And Henry just took it. I saw a lot of people not take their touchdowns today and try to clock here, but I don't think Henry plays that way. Instead, he just took his touchdown. So now Henry has a decision here. He's up 7. He could go for a 2-point conversion, which I know sounds a little crazy, but if he gets it, he'll go up 2 possessions. But if you feel like you're the better player, and I'm pretty sure Henry feels like he's the best in the freaking world, so of course he feels like he's the better player, you don't mind if this game goes into overtime. And that's why I think Henry elects to kick the field goal in this situation. But if you feel like you can't get a stop and your opponent's going to score on you no matter what, oftentimes I wouldn't mind someone going for 2 there and trying to end the game there. And like really try to end the game with your offense rather than your defense. But now all of a sudden, after 88's kicked 3 field goals, he's gotten stopped so many times. He has a freaking money drive at the end of the game. He has so much life. Like it's just insane how well he's done by just sticking around and giving himself a chance. Yeah, it's insane, bro. So now 88 definitely has to make this the last possession of the game. Both players know that. As we see, Dez got absolutely cheated there on a kickoff return fumble. Throws the ball away. Just clocking. 88 does a really good job of managing the clock. Not doing anything crazy, hitting his flat routes. That's a little tight end wheel route here. Staying in bounds. What's up, Wise? Again, taking his flats. And Henry, I feel like Henry's not playing the best defense here. I think I've seen a lot of people today like play all or nothing defense. I just don't know if Henry's close enough to the end zone to play that way. But like maybe he is doing that. I'm just not sure. Cuz this is an obvious touchdown. This streak here, like this looks like an obvious touchdown. Henry messed up his switch stick, but Mr. Football doesn't take that. He needs to make this last possession. But I feel like if Henry's doing that on purpose, I mean, we might as well have hard flats all over the field, and let's try to make Mr. Football score a touchdown. But he's just too far away from the end zone. He can just fall. Like he's in a tough spot. Henry's in a tough spot right now to try to get the ball back. So just running the ball, taking his yards. 3rd and 1. Neither player calls a timeout here. This was a crazy moment in the game. So after this run, there's 30 seconds on the clock, right? 34. Literally 34 seconds on the clock after that run. If 88 burns a timeout, he gives himself plenty of possessions. But neither player burns a timeout. The clock actually does a mini acceleration here. It skips from 33 to 30. I don't know if it just does that in the 4th or whatever. But now all of a sudden he just lost 4 seconds instantly, right? And he's coming out in a formation and he's still audibling. So we had 34 seconds, right? And he's motioning out his running back. Like this play took, what's 34 minus 17, bro? Let me do some quick math. That's actually a hard one to do in your head. 34 minus 17. That took 17 seconds. That all of that stuff that 88 just did took 17 seconds. No huddling or calling a play, audibling. Like it's just, that's so much time. And then he just ends up running the ball. So now he has 12 seconds left. So these 3 timeouts that 88 saved, like it's honestly like, I mean, I don't know. He didn't really have to save all 3 timeouts for this position because now he can't even use them unless each play lasts 3 seconds that he calls in the red zone. But typically they last like 4 seconds. So I just don't think that was the best clock management. It just gives yourself one less down to score, which you want as many opportunities as you can get if you're going to be in this position, I think. But we're still in this position. Now we're in 8 seconds left, 4th and goal. Or I'm sorry, we're in the red zone, 2nd and 6. And I'm pretty sure normally Mr. Football does not motion out his running back this much, but he's noticed that it literally messes with Henry's defense. Like, I know Henry doesn't want this dude over here. I don't know what this dude's going to end up doing now. He tries to move him back. He just ends up using him. And now Henry's just not going to get any pressure. And look at this. Because he uses him in a weird spot instead of using the middle linebacker like he normally does, Henry actually... Oh, I thought he bumped him a little bit. Someone got a weird bump here. And this drag just runs a glitchy drag route. And that's a really good job by 88. Like, that's perfect clock management. Besides not giving yourself the most opportunities in the red zone, you absolutely gave Henry no time to score back against you, which is really good. But you still need a 2-point conversion dot in this situation. Like, this has got to be one of your best dots that you have in your bag. And he goes to reliable wide China post. And it looks like 88 ends up burning a timeout here, which is interesting. Maybe he didn't like what he saw, or he just didn't like the play, and he just resets. And they're showing the replay of the drag route. Really nice read there. So very next play, he comes out and bunch X nasty. I think which he was doing all game and then audibling. And this time, instead of audibling down to the trips look, he goes to doubles flex Y off close. And I'm pretty sure this is just freestyle. I even think he said that in the interview after the game, that he was just motioning out his running back because he knew it messed with Henry's defense, and that's why he was doing it. And this combo is kind of crazy. I mean, hold on, let's look at the combo real quick. I mean, we got 2 drags and 2 corner routes and a streak, bro. Like, you got to assume Henry's gonna have like a yellow here, yellow here, yellow here. Um, Probably hard flat here, hard flat here. I just don't know. Maybe these corner routes could potentially get over these hard flats. I've never called like a corner route like this in the 2-point conversion play like this. Maybe he knows a steamer I don't know about. It just looks like a crazy combo to me. So he snaps it, and maybe he's just trying to manipulate this yellow here with these double drags. Snaps it. He sees this hook absolutely like come down hard. Henry switch sticks over here to guard this dig under route. And then 88 with an absolute steamer. This streak even ran his route weird. He runs it like a hook or like a curl. He doesn't run it like a normal streak, which I think is what 88 was expecting. He like gets bumped or something and gets held up, runs it like a curl. I've thrown balls like this so many times, and you know what happens to me? This ball just like goes straight behind my receiver and he just doesn't catch it or reacts to it. But I guess if you're Mr. Football 88, like you get these. And that's a $45,000 dot right there, by the way. Tournament life on the line. So he's hype. That's an absolute freaking missile. So he has to be feeling freaking great. I mean, he's been forced to kick 3 field goals. Henry's like stopped him more than enough times, and somehow this game ended up in overtime. Like, just absolutely insane. So now we're in OT. Henry elects to go on defense first. Gonna let 88 get the ball first, which I mean is a good decision. I think if you trust your defense, which Henry obviously does, I don't mind doing that. It tries to run the ball here. I'll hide my camera, just show more of the screen. Foreskin, what's good, bro? $88 just cooking up some dots. Had nothing there, just scrambles. I mean, just playing good ball. Both of them are playing good offense. It's just in the red zone. They've both gotten stopped in the red zone, and that's what matters in 2-point conversions, is what I've noticed. Hits the crossing route. That was low-key a dot. Henry had a good switch. I think he switched on the outside corner on that. Let me see. Yeah. So Henry just gives up a touchdown here and says, you can have this. I'm going to switch to this. Good defense by Henry. 4th and 8 situation. Henry gets a stop here. He wins the game. But 88 is just freaking... He just won't go away. He has so much fight. I think this is a design QB playmaker play. I think what 88's telling himself is like, if the drag's not there for a rack, I'm just going to playmaker it up, which is exactly what he does. Henry tries to switch stick it, just not able to get there. Freaking great playmaker by 88. I mean, that was a 4th and 8 playmaker. Like, he's cooking. Just runs the ball here. Nothing too crazy. Hits a little crab route. I think that might have been the first crab route he hit all game. So really nice play by 88 to bring that out when it matters. Gets tackled at the 1 though. So you still got to find the end zone somehow. And he just audibles down to this trips tight end look. He has Milroad in now. So Henry needs to, I mean, he knew that. He was trying to start the QB power, just unable to get there in time, and he scores. So now all of a sudden, 88 forces Henry to be on a money drive. And Henry's been on so many money drives in his life. This is nothing new for him, but it's just crazy how this game's turned out. Henry's going to hit that little zig route. Nice, easy route for him. Little QB playmaker on the zig route. I mean, those QB playmakers are so hard to stop. If someone's really good with them, they're so hard to stop. Henry gets this little glitchy. I'm not sure how he does this, but his wheel route ends up going from right to left somehow. I mean, that's pretty glitchy. And I think it forces 88 to respect it and like switch stick over there a little bit. He actually holds on to that drag too. So 2nd and 6. Nothing there. Just runs with his quarterback. Henry's really good too about realizing all of his reads are covered and just deciding to run with his quarterback. He makes that decision super fast, I've noticed. And even if he does get sacked, he steps up in the pocket so where it doesn't make the sack so detrimental. Like it's 1st and 10 and you just get sacked for 0 yards, 2nd and 10. Not the biggest deal, right? Move on. So it's just good pocket and good awareness. Something I need to work on. Again, just lots of drags, lots of running back routes. I mean, just simple stuff. Not really trying to bomb you. Just going to dink and dunk you all the way down the field. 3rd and 4 situation. I mean, he's been in bunch X nasty every play. Gets flashbang there. It doesn't matter. Touchdown. So now this is when it gets crazy. This is when you have to go to your best 2-point dot you have in your bag. This is for the game no matter what. If you get this, you win. You miss, you lose. That's where we're at in this situation. So I was wondering if Henry was going to audible to like trips tight end or something. He ends up audibling to bunch tight end. And this is a combo. Ends up throwing the flat and gets tackled. Tough. So let's break this down. So the read here on this bunch tight end, and Henry ended up tweeting about this. I'll even pull up the tweet. You guys think I'm not a nerd about this? You don't think I have receipts? Let me not freaking pull up my Twitter live, though. Let me make sure I just get to the tweet, you know. That shit could get a little crazy. So he said he called the right play. He's talking about this 2-point conversion at the end. Had it open, but he missed the read. And then he said it hurts, gave it my all. Gotta go next year. Also, thank you, Jesus. Shout out Jesus, W. Henry. But he's talking about this play here. So he does make the right play, the play call. I've never seen this combo, but this is actually really nice. The read here is you're trying to decide or trying to figure out what this corner's in. If he's in a cloud, he's going to take a step back, and then you're just going to be able to hit this this flat really fast for an easy touchdown. But if he's in a hard flat, right, if he takes a step up, then you're supposed to, I believe, you're supposed to hit this slot fade, pass lead it to the outside. Not even a LT pass lead, just a regular pass lead to the outside, and that's an easy touchdown or a 2-point conversion. So I think Henry was trying to make this read really fast. And I honestly believe he rushed the read a little bit. Like he had time. he had a little bit more time than he gave himself because 88 didn't send the full out double mug blitz. So he ended up rushing the read. He's keeping an eye on this corner here. And it does look like it might be a cloud. Like the corner low-key baits him. Based off his initial step, it looks like that corner takes like a half step back right there. Sorry, I know this might be annoying, but we gotta make sure we hammer this down. I think I could do the playback speed a little bit different, right? Look at super slow-mo, super nerdy. So at the very beginning of the snap, Henry's reading this corner's feet. And I'm sure he knows like how corners move based on if they're in a cloud or a hard flat. He snaps it. He opens his hips, and it looks like he's gonna backpedal. Like, how could you be wrong with making this read? Or how could you be mad at Henry for making this read? But then he just absolutely baits him and stops. And just stops. So he has square. If he pass leads to the left, like it's a tight window, but he has him. Or even high balls it. But he thought it was a cloud, and it ends up being a hard flat. And that's just unfortunate, and that's how the game ends. Really good defense by 88. Way to put that out there. And then that was going to be the end of it. Boom. 88 gets the freaking upset of the century and gets it done. Shout out 88. Shout out Henry too. So that's going to be the end of this one. That's just I watched the game live, but I honestly wanted to go back and replay it and kind of see how it turned out, because I just felt like the ending of the game was so crazy. I didn't even realize how we got there. So that's how we got there. As you can see, clock management when you're playing in these big games is probably the number one most important thing you need to be good at against someone else who's really good at the game. If you can't manage the clock well, you're just going to put yourself in tough situations. And these dudes are the best in the world at this. It's not an easy thing to do. Great game to these guys. Yeah, shout out them. Thank you guys so much for sticking to the end of this video, though. If you do like videos like this, man, please let me know down in the comments. I'm going to be more consistent on YouTube. I got to figure out ways to give you guys more content like this. But if you do like game breakdowns, let me know. If you want different game breakdowns of different games, also let me know down in the comments too. Appreciate you guys so much for watching, man. Peace.